Hi, Humanities 115, Mrs. Williams. I want to talk to you about the Milgram experiment. This is the experiment you read and wrote about last week, and I graded your essays, and feedback is in Moodle. So I like to talk to you about the experiment after, because I have found through experience that if I talk to you about the experiment before you read it, I just end up reading my words in your essay, which I'm glad you're listening, but I would much prefer that you read critically and come up with your own thoughts and ideas. Now, if you've taken psychology or sociology, you've already heard of the Milgram experiment. If you haven't, you will. And what I was looking for, which I didn't see anyone mention in their essays, was how unethical this experiment was. It was so unethical. He wouldn't let the people stop. The stress that Milgram put these people through, wrote that he was even amazed at how easily it was to manipulate from an authority figure. So he was knowingly manipulating. So it's just beyond ethical. So now we have a code of conduct, and we have to become certified in order to conduct any human experiment that is in the social sciences. As well we should. And when I became certified, you have to renew it every 3 years. I noticed that every single module related to something that Milgram did wrong in his experiment. It's almost as if his experiment created the code of conduct that we now have to follow. It's unbelievable how parallel the code of conduct is now to become certified compared to the experiment that Milgram ran. So that is what I was looking for. But one thing that a student brought up in their essay that also caught my eye when reading through the Milgram experiment section of your textbook is the quote, "You always have a choice," right? So Milgram was, telling, no, experiment, it must go on. It must continue. You must continue. But did they have a choice? Could they have stopped? So I think about that in my life, because that's what critical thinking is when you can apply what you've read to your life. That's the goal of the whole class. And I think about how many times in my mind I've said, well, I didn't have a choice. When I first started teaching and I didn't have sick days, my children were small, and if they stayed home sick from school, I had to take them to my mom's house. I didn't have a choice. How many times I've said in my head or out loud, I don't have a choice. That's what I want you to think about. Not for this week's assignment. This week's assignment is a reflection about jumping to conclusions, and there's a video, and that'll be due Friday. But I want you to think about this for the following week. Think about, in your life or anyone else's, did you have a choice? So, and the week after that'll be fall break. So we're halfway there, guys. Now, remember, you can always reach out to me via email, text, or you can hop on the Zoom link, which is in our course outline on Moodle. So let me know if you need anything, and I'm always here. Thanks, guys.